What Trump has done is he's lit up the country to where now we're going, damn, what happened? Now we got to hold a mirror up to ourselves.
Let's go, yeah. I came up through these streets, now who's running the show? Me. Ha ha, he, yeah. We topping the bill now, stacking the bills now, stacking them.
This is Van Jones. I'm here with another installment of Be Woke Vote. I'm here with the Messy Truth crew. We're doing this together with an amazing brother, Deon Taylor.
All right.
This brother is unbelievable, a film guy, TV guy, partnered with the legendary Robert Smith, and for some reason has such poor judgment that in the middle of shooting a movie with major stars, decided that this was something he wanted to take on and add to his plate. So my first question, given the fact that you're doing it in the middle of a movie with Hilary Swank and all this sort of stuff, why did you make the decision to prioritize Be Woke Vote and get this whole thing going?
I mean, it's easy because it's the most important thing we should be doing right now as a people.
Why do you say, you said this election in November and getting folks to vote is the most important thing for our people? That's a big claim. I mean, you could name a number of things that might be important. Why do you think this is, in the next period, the most important?
I think it's too many reasons for me to sit here on this couch and name.
Yeah. Throw some of them out there.
But one being the state of the presidency. That to me is one of the biggest reasons why. Number two being the state of black people, where we are right now and how we are viewed, how we view each other, what we're doing to change the narrative of our people. I think right now it's kind of interesting when I look at this Be Woke Vote. People say that really fast and don't really understand what it means to be woke because so many people are still asleep. And when I say sleep, I mean sleep, in the hibernation sleep, where they don't understand that they could build their own ways. They don't understand that they can create their own companies. They don't understand that they could be their own people.
Right.
They don't understand that they are actually free people.
Right.
And you are free to vote. You are free to make change. You are free to speak. You are free to kneel.
Yeah.
And
let me just push back and challenge you on some of this stuff, though. I mean, you're talking about entrepreneurship, which I 100% agree with, talking about self-expression, all that kind of stuff. But I think you have some people who just feel like, man, we voted for Obama, we voted for Jesse Jackson, we voted for Negro mayors, we've been voting and voting and voting, and it's just not working. What do you say to people who feel that way?
I say they have lost their minds. I think we become immune to the fact that the Barack Obama vote was something that was rare. It was different. It was something we all did because of, at times, whether you understood what he stood for or not, it was like for the culture. We was like, oh, it's a black dude up there, we're all going to vote. But before that, we weren't there. We weren't at the polls.
There's almost like a secondary effect from Obama, it seems like to me. But I don't hear us talking about, okay, you know, the White House, we can't do anything about that till 2020. But 2018, we got some governors we can vote for. We got some people we can vote for. You know, one of the things that I think is interesting about the situation that you're in, situation that I'm in, you know, there's nobody ahead of us in line anymore.
No one.
I mean,
That's funny.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm 50 years old. I remember when I could look way down the road at a Jesse Jackson or even an Al Sharpton, even a Barack and Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
And suddenly that we're those cats.
You're it.
Like, we're it. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, I'm sure you were looking way down the road at a Spike Lee or way down the road at a John Singleton. Now, like, you're that guy.
Yeah, no,
that's a big weight. Is that a part of what your passion?
When I was growing up, not to say these were the greatest people on earth at all, but I remember vividly watching Michael Jordan getting ready to go to a Bulls game as a basketball player, getting out of a Ferrari in a three-piece suit and going like, damn, I want to be that. Right. You know what I mean? Now when you look at it, the role models on social media. It's guys that, you know, on YouTube that's got 50 million views on, you know, how to hit themselves over the head with a bottle, or, you know, I got this many guns, or I rap like this, and I got this car, and I smoke this much weed. And I'm saying, man, like the youth for my daughter, I'm like, I'm not worried anymore because I'm here, because I'm like, yo, here's what we gonna do.
Right.
And this is how this whole thing came about, which is like, how do you get the greatest minds, the greatest people that's on the turf right now to get up and talk about realism?
I've never talked about this publicly.
Right.
The Hillary Clinton campaign never put the money to the grassroots the way Obama did.
That's right.
It was all wasted on dumb TV ads that nobody can remember to this day.
That's right.
And a data operation that failed.
Right.
Nobody has held any of those white folk accountable. They all still have jobs. They all still in charge of everything. Meanwhile, we're the ones paying the price. So part of what I'm hoping will happen is that we'll start to think more rationally. If all you really have is a really bad campaign run by Hillary Clinton and her cronies, and a 70,000 vote problem in the industrial Midwest, maybe we can calm down a little bit, not keep getting spun up, and his whole game is keep us spun up.
Right.
Keep us excited, scared, and so then we become more like him.
Yeah.
He's ADD, now we're ADD.
The whole country's ADD.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so presidents have a power to kind of make you like them whether you like it or not.
That's right.
What I want to say is, look, he can run the White House, he's not gonna run my house.
Right.
I'm not going to get up every day and be spun up and upset about him. I'm going to be cool, calm, and rational. I'm going to say to myself, what organizations can we support? What movements like this can we support to get the right information to people?
Right.
So that people are not being told, oh, Trump can't win. Brother, I was never saying that Trump couldn't win.
Right.
I posted something in June of 2016 explaining how Trump was going to win.
That's right.
I got every state right but Wisconsin in June of 2016, but I had no platform.
Yep.
I had no ability to get it to my people.
Yep.
So part of what this is, you know, we need good information, smart information, and inspiration delivered to the right population. I want us to be building a different kind of movement.
We have to.
That is not just about data, but it's also about wisdom. And insight. And being emotionally mature enough not to have a clown trick you into being in a circus every day.
But it's also driven by real passion. And just to speak to that, what I don't think a lot of people understand, which Trump does understand, one of the very few things he does really get is the social movement. So where Democrats, like you just alluded to so eloquently, which is they spent a bunch of money on TV. I remember vividly, and I'll be the first person to say it, I remember watching the TV and seeing Colin Kaepernick right after all the stuff was going on. They asked him, hey, who you voting for? And I remember Colin Kaepernick said, I'm not voting for anyone because this person is that and that person is that. And I remember going, Jesus, what just happened? Because the reality is he just told a nation of kids that's a cool way to do it. Ain't neither one of them good, right? And then you go, well, damn, what does that mean? Right. You got to pick someone. Now, here's what I think has happened. Trump was needed. And no one will admit this. He's a necessary evil. And you talked about it earlier before, which is we're being reactive, right? Well, that's what we are. We're reactive people. We're never proactive, we're reactive. So what has to happen now is what Trump has done is he's lit up the country to where we're going, damn, what happened? Now we got to hold a mirror up to ourselves. Everybody, black, brown, white, it doesn't matter. Now we're going like, who are we? What are we about? And for me, I wanted to do this because the black community, man, I'm trying to figure out right now, how do we begin the process to stop what I call a slave mentality, which I talked to you about before, which is we're afraid to work with each other. We're afraid to invest in each other. When we see, Jamie said it earlier, if you walk on the plane, you see a black pilot, you second guess, right? When you get ready to do a business opportunity with somebody and you walk in the room and they're all white, then we feel like, oh yeah, that's the best deal. Everybody in there could be a crook.
Or an idiot.
Or an idiot, right? Or a damn fool that don't know what they doing. And you like, oh yeah, it's all good because they got suits on. We have to stop doing that. Because what we're doing is we're in a position now to where I believe the elevated society and these people have now studied and understand our culture more than we do. They understand that they can drop a seed of doubt and we'll scatter. They understand that Deon and Van Jones will never build a company together. They understand that. At some point, they know that there's something in our minds that either come down to money, power, or whose company is it?
It always comes down to money, decision-making, and credit.
That's right. That's right.
And one of those three is always going to be the breakdown.
That's right.
And yet other people can figure out ways around all that and keep pushing.
Yep.
Literally all summer long I was saying, I don't want these midterms to go down without me having some kind of digital play.
You have to.
The only person that I know of in cable news that has a right to do independent digital stuff under the Messy Truth brand. But I'm like the dog that caught the car.
Yep,
I don't know how to drive. I caught the car.
Yeah.
But then how am I supposed to, having gotten these digital rights, actually execute on them? Do something that will actually reach folk. And then at that very moment, you reached out to me.
It's crazy.
And so literally you got a guy who's got rights and doesn't know how to use them. And then you're somebody who knows how to use them, but you don't have the microphone I've got.
It's the perfect team, man.
And you put together, man.
That's God, though, man.
That's God.
That's God. And a lot of times we tend to shy away from saying that. A lot of people that understand what God truly means in your life and understands that, and you wake up with light and integrity and understand that God really works.
Yes.
You understand moments like that.
You know what's amazing is to be 50 years old. I turned 50 years old in September. I remember when hip hop was nothing. I mean, I remember the first summer when I heard Planet Rock, and to watch something go from a couple of 45s to take over the whole world, and for global culture to be centered on that, that is such an extraordinary achievement. That gives me a sense of the power of this community.
Yeah.
We have created something that touches everybody, but too much of it is nonsense. You need some fun.
Yeah.
I remember Will Smith when he was coming on Fresh Prince. So you need the fun stuff.
Yeah.
But you also need the real stuff.
Yeah.
And if we can take that same magic and that same passion and that same creativity and really move up to our third eye, move up to our higher selves, we can move the whole world in a more positive direction. And I feel like if this can add to that, this is the most important thing I can be doing before this election and the next several.
What's interesting is when you pull it all the way back and realize right now that we don't own it and we don't control it. And every one of those artists that you can remember are owned by some corporation who can't even go sing that song without somebody saying, sign this contract. One of the biggest things that I want to hope that this platform begins to do is explain to black kids and brown kids, right, and minorities about business. I can't point to one person in my life where I was like, oh, they own a business or have a company or got credit, they went and bought a car. None of that. But the reality is you have to be in a position now of power where we have to begin to tell us how to do business, because 9 times out of 10, a black man or a black woman gets an opportunity to do something in the business field. They fail once and they never have the opportunity to do it again. And that's a big thing. And I feel like this platform, what we need to actually begin to do outside of voting for who we need to put in office, pushing the Democrats to understand social platforms so they could actually get off the TV and get onto the phone, right? The third thing we need to do is educate people on how to be business leaders and how to push their community, because once you do that, it affects all the other things we're talking about. So anyways, I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So
all right, man, thank you. My name is Deon Taylor, and I need you to go vote this November, please.